Dawn broke cold and pale over the frozen fields near the small town of Austerlitz. A thick mist clung to the ground, hiding hills, soldiers, and fate itself. Napoleon Bonaparte stood quietly, wrapped in his gray coat, eyes fixed on the horizon. He looked calm, almost bored, but his mind was already 10 moves ahead. This wasn't just another battle. This was a trap, perfectly set. Facing him were the combined armies of Russia and Austria, massive in number and confident. They believed Napoleon was weak. They believed his army was tired, stretched thin, ready to collapse. And Napoleon wanted them to believe exactly that. Days earlier, he had deliberately abandoned the high ground, especially the Pratzen Heights, the most important position on the battlefield. His enemies saw this as a mistake. In truth, it was bait. As the sun rose, the Allied commanders made their move. Thousands of Russian and Austrian troops surged forward, pouring down from the heights to attack Napoleon's right flank. Drums thundered. Boots crushed frost beneath them. They were certain they were about to break the French line and end the war in one glorious strike. Napoleon watched silently. He waited. Then, as the mist began to lift, he turned to Marshal Soult and spoke words that would echo through history. One sharp blow and the war is over. With a single command, the French center exploded into motion. Columns of soldiers surged uphill, bayonets forward, charging straight at the now undefended Pratzen Heights. The Allies realized their mistake too late. Their army had split itself in half. French cannon roared from the heights, tearing through enemy formations below. Smoke filled the air. Men shouted, fell, vanished into chaos. Napoleon rode forward, directing movements with precision, as if conducting a deadly orchestra. On the frozen lakes to the south, retreating enemy soldiers tried to escape. French artillery shattered the ice beneath them. The lakes cracked and swallowed men, horses, and cannons alike. Panic spread. Order collapsed. By afternoon, the battlefield belonged entirely to France. The Allied army was shattered. Tens of thousands were killed, wounded, or captured. Napoleon had defeated 2 emperors at once. Not through brute force, but through intelligence, patience, and perfect timing. As the smoke cleared, Napoleon looked across the field of victory. This was more than a win. It was a statement. At Austerlitz, Napoleon didn't just win a battle, he rewrote the rules of warfare. Historians would later call it Napoleon's masterpiece. And for one cold December day, he truly stood as the most powerful man in Europe.